सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. Nice to have begun with some bhajans and remembered Bhagwan and the Guru. So right now what is happening in your classes? Which text is happening? On chapter 10 right now.
There are 3 classes from it. 2 classes are doing chapter 10 and 1 class is doing chapter 7.
Chapter 7. And these are all 3 classes are your classes here. अभी जो जितने हैं आपके 3 हैं. हाँ. So कितने साल से हो रहे हैं ये क्लास अभी?
बताएंगे 2008 16th year.
वाह रे
I
वाह.
think we were the first class. Yeah.
2008 से. One class is from 8, then other 2?
Second is from 2009.
9.
Third one I think 2017. But it was already an ongoing class which Milind Bhai was taking.
Okay.
Then because of his illness and all.
So very good. All of you have been studying for so long. Congratulations to her also for keeping you inspired, and to all of you also. And now you have come up to Geeta chapter 10. Some of you, okay, 7. So today's topic is overview of chapter 10 and 11. So chapter 10 of the Gita is called Vibhuti Yoga. And chapter 11 is Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. So the seed of chapter 10 is in chapter 7. In chapter 7, when Bhagwan is explaining, one of the very powerful analogies he gives is Mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Everything is strung in me like the pearls are strung in the thread, in a necklace. They are held together by the thread. And there he gave many examples of his the way in which he pervades the universe. So some of those examples that he gave, we will start from there, so we understand that okay, from this is where the seed of the chapter is. So when he says here, that bhumi rapo nalo vayu khammano buddhire vacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti ashtadha. Ashtadha prakriti is 5 elements, and this ahankara, mana and buddhi. Samashti mana, samashti buddhi, samashti ahankara. This whole thing is total, is the 8-fold prakriti, ashtadha prakriti. It is his manifestation. And then specifically he says that I am the sapidity in the water, rasoham apsu kaunteya, prabhasmi, I am the light in the sun and the moon. Then pranava sarva vedeshu, in the om, in the Vedas I am the om. So he gives specific manifestations also of his, apart from being pervading the whole universe generally. Now, when he has said this, in that chapter he goes on to elaborate some more, not only the external things but also internal qualities. I am the strength amongst the strong, I am the intelligence among the intelligent, I am that desire which is not opposed to dharma. So external as well as internal manifestations of Bhagavan he explains. Now in 10th chapter we see that 10th chapter begins with this word bhuya, again. Once again I am going to explain. There it was a small glimpse that he gave, and there he was speaking also in the context of consciousness. This whole world is the lower prakriti. In the consciousness and even said that is the higher prakriti. And there he spoke about Maya, then 4 types of devotees, all that he explained in that chapter. But here he felt that some more elaboration is required. And so this chapter begins, Arjun doesn't have a question. Chapter begins by the Lord saying, Bhuya eva mahabaho shunume paramam vachaha. Once again I am going to repeat. Why? Yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami. Because you are very dear to me and for your benefit, hitakamyaya, I am explaining this again. So sometimes, so this indicates also the relationship between the teacher and the student here. And this chapter begins with that beautiful relationship that Bhagwan has with Arjun. This is now a proper relationship as a student and the teacher. They have grown up together, they have, he's the cousin brother and all that, but in the second chapter he surrenders. And he says, I am your disciple, please instruct me, I am ready to be instructed. And so the whole Gita now flows through the Lord for the benefit of Arjun. Till now, Bhagwan has not given him this knowledge. When he surrendered, when he asked for it, then Bhagwan gave. And when Bhagwan gives, he gave not only to Arjun for his particular issue, but he gave this knowledge for the whole humanity, keeping Arjun as the medium. And so, sometimes a student may not grasp at the first instance, and so the teacher has to elaborate a little more. And so what he gave in the 7th chapter, in a glimpse, he starts here once again. Now, that's why he starts by explaining that my true nature, even the Devatas, Rishis, many of them, they don't know. Because in his true nature, who is Krishna? He is not just the form. So in the Gita, in how many ways is Krishna Bhagavan to be understood? What is the depiction of Krishna in the Gita, if you see? One is, of course, as Krishna, who is in avatar of Bhagavan, who is there. Second, Krishna is teacher, very good. So as a guru he is there. He is a friend also, so he says, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Then,
Brahman.
yes, he is infinite Brahman as consciousness, nameless, formless, attributeless, supreme truth. And anything else? Very good, charioteer also. He begins with that only actually. He tells him to place the chariot there. Creator, Ishvara. So Krishna is Brahman, Krishna is Ishvara, Krishna is the Guru, Krishna is the friend, Krishna is the charioteer. So many ways Gita depicts. So in this chapter, he starts by explaining his infinite nature and he says, Name vidu suragana prabhavam namharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. I am the cause of even all the devatas and maharshis and everybody. So they don't know me in my complete nature. So one cannot know God as an object. One can only know God as the self, the truth. And so he says, whoever knows me, yomam ajam anadim cha vetti loka maheshwaram asammudha samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. So we have to know Bhagwan from 2 standpoints. First he says Aja, Ajam and Anadim, who is unborn, who is beginningless. One who knows the Supreme as that consciousness which is beginningless, which is unborn. Many times what we do, we limit Bhagwan only to the form. And then some people become so fanatic, they say that if you worship this form only, you will get liberation. Any other form, if you worship, you will not get liberation. Bhagwan himself is saying he is Aja and Anadi. Then why are you stuck with one form only? That we choose one form and we worship that particular form is for my single pointedness, so that I go from many forms to one form to formless. But Bhagavan in his true nature is Aja and Anadi, is unborn, infinite, beginningless. And that means what? He is not some God up there, consciousness out there which is beginningless and unborn. That which is unborn is infinite. That means all of us in our true nature are also that. So one is to know Bhagavan as that infinite consciousness, and that very Lord has become Loka Maheshwaram, has become the creator of this whole universe. So how does Brahman become creator? How does Brahman become Ishvara? Students, you have to answer. Huh? In association with Maya, she is saying, आप क्या कह रहे थे? With body? No. How consciousness becomes Ishvara? That's the question. Brahman becomes Ishvara. Identifying with the total intellect. Who is identifying with the total intellect?
When it comes to any form.
That's the question. How it comes to any form? That formless, nameless, attributeless truth, which is Brahman, how does it become Ishvara? Ishvara has a form or Ishvara doesn't have a form? Ishvara has a form.
Very bad teacher.
No. Perfect. Don't worry.
When there is vasanas, no. When there is the maladjustment or a turbulence in the gunas, that is when creation originally starts.
That is creation starts. When creation starts के लिए answer correct है.
Yes.
But how does Brahman become Ishvara? That's a simple question.
How does Brahman Maya?
Bas. Simplest. Brahman is plus Maya is equal to Ishwar. पहले उन्होंने बोला था actually, but I wanted to ask some more and see. So Brahman, using the power of Maya, becomes Ishvara. Ishvara by himself doesn't have a form, because Ishvara is the totality. That Ishvara takes up a form for the Jiva to surrender. There is no doubt in that. But by itself, Ishvara does not have form. Ishvara is the totality. So whoever knows this, so your answer, by the way, was correct. I was waiting only for people to warm up little more and think. So Brahman plus Maya becomes Ishvara. That Ishvara is here, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. And whoever knows this, Asammudha Samartyeshu. See, these are, each shloka of the Gita is very, very powerful. Asammudha Samartyeshu. That person is freed from delusion amongst the mortals. How much delusion is there about Bhagavan? You think about it. In our mind itself, as Hindus, how much confusion about God. And people make us feel lesser, because we don't have clarity about the tattva, because this knowledge and this philosophy, somewhere we got divorced from. So then people are making us feel lesser. Arey, you are worshipping so many gods, and what kind of gods you are worshipping? Monkey god, elephant god, what is all this? And everybody keeps saying Hinduism is, what is that word? Polytheistic. We are not polytheist religion. We are Advaitic religion. Monotheist only. We believe only in one infinite consciousness. But of course that infinite consciousness can take up as many forms as required. And that clarity one should have. Brahman does not have a form. Ishvara does not have a form. And that very Brahman becoming Ishvara then creates the entire creation. How? From itself. Like the spider creates the web from itself. In the same way, the whole Srishti is an appearance of the divine. So for us, the Srishti also is Bhagavan. For us, the form of the Lord also is Bhagavan. So we worship everything apart from the form of the Lord. We worship everything, plants, birds, animals, everything we will worship. Why? Because this is Virat Rupa Bhagavan. Whichever culture says this, that Bhagavan is immanent and transcendent, both, that culture will be the most accommodative, peaceful, loving, compassionate culture. If you remove either of these, there is a problem. You think about it. So much of fanaticism in the world is why? One of the reasons is somebody says God is only transcendental. You try to do anything to bring him to the worldly aspect, maar do unko. Are bhai, why are you limiting God only to transcendental? And if somebody becomes fanatic and says God is only this one particular form, any other form you worship, you will go to hell. Now that also is a problem. Hindu culture has both transcendental and immanent. Immanent actually means all pervasive in the world. So Bhagavan is both transcendental as well as immanent. So when he says, whoever knows me as Aja and Anadi, as Brahman, and as Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, that person is asammudha, is freed from delusion. And if I understand these two very clearly, then the creation has come from here only. So everything here in this creation is divine. There is no other force from where the creation has come. Some people say, no, I don't believe in God, I believe in nature. So what is nature then? Which is why that definition is important to understand. Brahman plus Maya is equal to Ishvara. Brahman's power is Maya. Nature is not some independent power. Prakriti, Maya is all same. When we associate with Purusha, then we say Prakriti. When we associate Brahman, then we say Maya. So the waker and the power to dream, that power to dream resides in the waker. A waker uses the power of dreaming and becomes what? Dream creator. Then the whole dream projection will happen. And then all the dream characters will be there. But all this came from where? Waker. So the whole dream world is appearance of waker's mind. Same way, this infinite consciousness using the power of Maya becomes Ishvara, appears as the whole Srishti. If this much is clear, there will be only understanding of oneness, that only one has become all this. Which today science also is saying. Science also is searching for singularity, unified field theory, uniting all the forces, going beyond space and time continuum, exactly same. Vedanta goes little more subtler, saying it is the Atma within, it is the truth, which is the absolute reality, which alone is infinite. Now, if this much is understood, asammudha samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. Now that source has manifested as the whole Srishti. Bhagavan in this chapter, 10th chapter, he starts by enumerating the subtler aspects. He doesn't, because he already given some examples of the grosser ones in terms of the, what we just spoke, no? The Punyo Gandha Prithivya Amcha Tejas Tejas Vinamaha, all that he said in the 7th chapter. So here he starts by saying Buddhi, Jnanam, Asammoha. So intelligence, knowledge, and Kshama, Satyam, Damaha, Shamaha, all these qualities. He goes on to list Ahimsa, Samata, Bhavanti Bhava Bhutana, Matta Eva Prithak Vidhaha. All these bhavas, all the emotions, all the intelligence, all comes from Bhagavan. So many times we think of our emotions as what? Swamiji, I am a weak person because I am an emotional person. So we think emotions are something which cloud us, which delude us, which make us attached, make us weak. And what is the stereotyping of an emotional person? Emotional person cries. Just because somebody cries, first of all, doesn't make them weak. Just because somebody cries doesn't mean that they are only sentimental and they are any lesser than somebody who is intellectual. These are all stereotyping. Arjun cried or not? In the battlefield, right in between two armies, he has tears in his eyes. He doesn't think, my God, what will people think? I am the greatest archer of these times and all these people are there and I am a man. How can I cry? Mard ko dard nahi hota. Luckily, these stupid stereotypes were not there at that time. मर्द को भी दर्द होता था, उसको अच्छा भी ठीक, उसको कोई उससे तकलीफ नहीं थी. It was okay. He felt crying. He cried in front of भगवान कि भाई I am confused now. Tell me what to do. So Bhagavan says, Bhavanti bhava bhutanam. All these emotions also they come from me. Values they come from me. Then he says, Etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo veti tattvataha. Whoever knows my vibhuti and my yoga and the essence, three things. Saha avikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. That person will be established in tremorless yoga. ये कहाँ से आया ये tremorless yoga? कर्म योग सुना है, भक्ति योग सुना, ज्ञान योग सुना, राज योग भी सुना, ये अविकम्प योग कहाँ से आया? Actually, गीता में बहुत सारे योग हैं. 6th chapter, those of you have done, most all of you would have done 6th chapter. In 6th chapter, one yoga comes, Abhyasa yoga. Abhyasa yogena kaunteya. So Bhagavan says, how to control the mind? So he says that Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. With Abhyas and Vairagya, you will be able to grasp and control this mind. So different yogas are there. In that 6th chapter only there is another yoga called moderation yoga. We have added it. Bhagavan doesn't say moderation word there, but he uses the yukta word. Yukta ahara viharasya. Moderation in food, sleep, speech, exercise, recreation, spiritual practice. Everywhere one should have moderation. So like that different yogas are there. And the word is yoga, not yoga. This English has destroyed a lot of our vocabulary. It is yoga, yuj yoga, so karma yoga. So avikampa yoga in that way. What is avikampa yoga? So vikampa means shaking, which is not very firm. Some confusion, doubt remains. So one is not established. If one knows these three, tattva, yoga and vibhuti, then one will understand everything. In this context, one will understand the truth and will be established in the truth. Will not get confused. Otherwise, somebody comes and tells us some 2-3 things, and they take some arguments of science, and then we get confused. Then we start wondering, does God really exist? Maybe at that time, they call today God of the gaps. Have you heard God of the gaps? It's one popular expression that people use today, especially youngsters, God of the gaps. Wherever there is a gap in our understanding, when we don't know the cause for something, there is a gap in my understanding, then we attribute that cause to God. So one example given is thousands of years ago, people did not know how thunder and lightning is happening, rain is happening. So they said, God does thunder and lightning. God is sitting up there and He is showering the rains. He is doing thunder and lightning. And then came along science, and then through science we have come to know that yes, this whole cycle of evaporation and condensation and all this, and so we don't need God now to explain this phenomenon. So as long as there is a gap in my understanding, I can attribute something to God, but as science catches up and finds the reasons, then God is not required. God will become redundant. Now some things like that, some 4-5 people will come and tell us, then we start wondering, really? My whole life, 2007 onwards, I am studying in Devi group. इतना सारा समय मेरा चला गया इसमें, behind something that does not exist only. No one gets confused. If you have studied the Gita, etc., properly, no confusion will happen because there is complete, proper clarity. So he says you should know three things: Tattva, Yoga, and Vibhuti. So what are these three things now? So now there is water in this. So water in its Tattva is one of the five elements. We say it has, whatever you can say, it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. That is the Tattva, essential nature of this water. What is the yoga here? The yoga here is the potential of the water, the capability of the water to quench our thirst. We may drink anything else, like coconut water and this and that. We may drink any other type of a liquid. But when I am very thirsty, the thirst gets quenched by water. That capability in the water is the yoga. And then I make some juice, ice, whatever what is that called? Slush. हाँ, आपको बहुत सारी नई नई चीज़ें आती हैं अभी तो, मोहितो and slush and whatever, पता नहीं क्या क्या. That is called vibhuti of water. Vibhuti means what? Special manifestation. Yoga means what? The essential potential of that thing. And Tattva means what? The nature of that thing. Now, are these three things different or are they one? One only, no? That water only has in its Tattva, we call it as water. We understand it as the essence, which is H2O. Then in yoga we say it has the ability to quench the thirst, what are its properties, and then you add extra, whatever, you make it into ice or a juice or some cola or whatever that is. Now that is its special manifestation. Same we take another example. Gold ornaments, in this example, you tell me what is the Tattva, what is the Yoga and what is the Vibhuti. Gold is a Tattva.
Chemical composition and its tattva.
Yeah, gold's chemical composition, whatever that is made up of, that is the Tattva. Then what is the Yoga? So it shines, it can be melted, it can be molded, it can become whatever you make it into, the yellow color, all those, the attributes. And the attributes with its potential to, get molded into whatever we want to make it. And that it shines, so it will, anybody wears it, it will lend beauty. That is the yoga. And then what is the vibhuti? Ornaments. So then once the intricate designs are made, the ornaments get ready and then you can use it. So that's called the vibhuti. If somebody sees only the ornament but misses out the gold, then that is called delusion. The goldsmith will focus on what? The gold. In that the tattva of gold first he will focus on. 22 carat or 24 carat. First figure out that. I don't know कितने बाकी carat होते हैं, but whatever, 22, 24 जो भी है. उससे नीचे ज़्यादा भी होते हैं क्या कोई? 18 होता है ना कुछ तो. 18, 14. हाँ. So first the goldsmith will check that. That is the essential nature of that gold. Tattva will see first. Then yoga, then vibhuti. Without tattva, vibhuti and yoga will not exist. But if I get stuck only with vibhuti, then I miss out on tattva. There also I am not actually stuck at vibhuti. I am stuck at the form. Vibhuti is of the gold actually. But if I forget that this is gold and I am stuck only with the form, whatever the intricate design is done in that, but I forget it is gold, then it is not even being stuck with Vibhuti, it is getting stuck only with the Nama and Rupa. That is called delusion. And so in this 10th chapter, what does Bhagavan say? He says that whoever knows these three will be firmly established in the truth. I have to know all the three about the truth. I must know what is the Tattva, which is Brahman. I must know Ishvara, because that Brahman using Maya only has become Ishvara, who has the entire creation unmanifest in him, and then who can manifest the whole creation, sustain it, and again bring it back into him. That's the potential. And then when that creation is manifest here, this whole Srishti is what? Is his Vibhuti. But in that entire Srishti, now in this particular chapter, special manifestations are being mentioned. Entire Srishti is divine, no doubt. Now if I want to see the divine Srishti, if I want to have the divine vision, then I can see divinity in this also, in this also. No doubt, because everything has come from there. But where there is a glorious manifestation, I will be able to see that much more easily. And when some glorious manifestation is there, then what will happen? My ego will surrender. The small little I which we hold on to, we say it is small I, but it is the biggest I in the life. Most difficult to drop is that small I. That ego surrenders when it sees something grand. Anything in nature, if you see like this ocean, so mighty, huge. If you just think about ocean and what is our insignificance in front of the ocean. Think about the sun, think about the sky, think about so many aspects in creation. Who is the individual in comparison to the manifestation? Glorious manifestations these are. Bhagavan says in the 10th chapter, Sarasam asmi sagaraha, I am the Sagara. So my mind will go to what? That Bhagavan has manifested as Sagar. So I am looking at Sagar, but my mind has gone to Tattva. That infinite consciousness becoming Ishvara appears as this Sagara. So as a result, what will happen with this? I am seeing the world, but my mind is thinking of the divine. I can see the world as the world, Jagat Darshan I can have, or Brahma Darshan I can have. Vibhuti Darshan here is the word. So I can see the world as divine, or I can see the world as the world. If I see the world as the world, then I will develop Raga and Dvesha. But if I see the world as divine, then I will get out of Raga and Dvesha. And so the perception remains the same externally, but the internal attitude completely changes. And so when Bhagavan says this to Arjun, he says, devotees who see me in the whole Srishti, who are established in this Avikampa Yoga, he says that, and they worship me. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Full of bhav, they worship me. How do they worship? So he says, Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Their mind is absorbed with me, Matchitta, madgata pranaha. Their actions also dedicated to me. Their life as though they have dedicated, surrendered to me. And bodhayanta parasparam. When they talk to each other, they share knowledge with each other. About what? About the divine. They talk about Bhagavan's Leelas. And they delight in that. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So two devotees, when they meet, what will they speak about? About bhakti, about sadhana, about Bhagavan, about Ishvara. So two Devi group ladies, when they meet, what should they talk about? As per the Geeta, people want to know now what is the practical application of the Geeta. Yeah. Practical application is this. Two people who love sports When they meet, if they love cricket, what will they speak about? Cricket, and which team is number one and which team is number two, who is a good player and what is the match and how they won and how they lost and all that. They delight in cricket. मैच हो जाता है, कमेंट्री चलते ही रहता है. देयर इज अ पोस्ट व्हाट यू कॉल पोस्ट मैच एनालिसिस. मैच होगा पूरा 3 घंटे का, पोस्ट मैच एनालिसिस होगा 6 घंटे का. वाई वन लव्स क्रिकेट. स्टॉक मार्केट, 2 people when they meet, if you have no interest in stock market, the moment these 2 people meet, you will say bye bye, चालू हो गया इनका. Like that, when 2 devotees meet, they will talk about Bhagavan. And see, everything else in the world has some limitation, some finitude. Bhagavan is infinite. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. Bhagavan also is Anant and his Katha also is Anant only. And even if they talk the same Katha again and again, they delight in that. One of the best examples of that is children. Small children, you tell them the story. Every evening you have to tell the same story. And they delight in listening again and again. And if you miss out some details, say, no, don't rush up. You have to tell all this also. You can add more details, but you should not miss out some details. Like that, the devotees delight. Those who are not devotees, they don't understand. अरे ये क्या, ये लोग सेम प्रहलाद का स्टोरी भागवत कितने बार सुनेंगे बाबा. अरे but devotee delights in listening to the glory of Bhagavan. Why not? And every time something new to learn, different stages of life we go through, so different things we can apply. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha, and they are not bothered about anything else. Like Mirabai says, "Mere to Giridhar Gopal." दूसरो न कोई. She is fully surrendered to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is her beloved. Bas. Now to give her Tattva Jnana etc. is Bhagavan's job. The devotee in the Bhakti Marg, right now this second section of the Gita is Bhakti oriented. Bhakti Pradhan, not oriented. Bhakti Pradhan it is. First 6 chapters are Karma Pradhan, then Bhakti Pradhan, then 13 to 18 are Jnana Pradhan. So, here is Bhakti Pradhan. So what if somebody goes on just chanting Bhagavan's name or listening to Bhagavan's Leelas or speaking about Bhagavan's glories? How will they get Advaitic vision of oneness? Satchidananda Swarup Atma alone is real. How will they get that? Maybe the Bhakta remains only in duality. This 10th chapter is a very beautiful verse where he says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Such devotees who are constantly thinking about me, satata yuktanam, who are striving to unite with me all the time, and they sing my glories or they worship me. Bhajatam does not mean only singing, worship, even through the actions. Bhav is I am doing it for Bhagavan. Then singing may happen, worship may happen, all that will happen. Bhajatam priti purvakam, with great love. Bhagavan says they don't have to worry. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I bless them with the buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means this Advaitic knowledge that you are essentially not this jiva, you are Satchidananda Swarup and you and I are one. That supreme non-dual knowledge Bhagavan will give them. Where Bhagavan says, Yena mam upayantite, by which they will come to realize my true nature, which is Tattvata. So now when he says this, how will he do this? So he gives another analogy. He says, I light the lamp of knowledge in their heart. Because somebody may say, okay, when Bhagavan says that they will come to me, they will go where? They will go to Vaikuntha Loka where Bhagavan is there, and then they will stay there all the time, and that is the mukti they will attain. Bhagavan knows that a human being is capable of all this. And there will be people who will sell the seats for Vaikuntha also. And there are people who will buy it also. And there are people who are buying place in Mars already. Yeah. And there are agencies who are selling things in Mars. The race for being the first, I got the land at the cheapest cost on Mars. Okay. So Bhagavan knew that some people will be there who will misinterpret this shloka, and they will say that yena mam upayantite means these people will interpret that that devotee will go to the loka and then stay with Bhagavan and all that. See, there is salokya mukti, there is no doubt. But that's not the ultimate. And the bhakta doesn't limit oneself only with that, and nor is Bhagavan happy with that. Bhagavan doesn't want the duality to remain. Because the highest expression of love is what? When the lover and the beloved become one. The separation, there will be, then you can meet and part and depart and pangs of separation and all that will happen. But if you unite, no separation. Done. So the next verse he says this, Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha, that ignorance which is in their heart. Essentially God and man are not different. They are what? They are one only. But because of ignorance, one feels there's a difference. Ajnanajam tamaha, nashayami atma bhavasthaha. He says, I who am in their heart, I destroy their ignorance. How? Jnana deepena bhasvata. I illumine the lamp of knowledge. Now see, Bhakta's heart, Bhagavan is illumining with the lamp of knowledge. If we think that Bhakti Marg is separate, Jnana Marg is separate, no, each of them have the others embedded in it. If I love Bhagavan, I will do seva, that is Karma Yoga. And if I love Bhagavan, I want to know who he is and be one with the Lord, now that is Jnana Yoga. Whichever path I will follow, the other two will be there, and it will lead me finally only to the absolute oneness. So now when Bhagavan said this, Arjun is very happy that he now sees the Lord as the Supreme. Till now he is seeing Bhagavan as what? He is my cousin and he is my friend and we have grown up together, and now slowly he surrendered also. But now he is in 10th chapter. His understanding has changed. So now he says, Param Brahma Param Dhama. You are Supreme Brahman, you are Supreme Abode. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. You are Purusha, you are Shashvata, you are Divya, you are Adi, you are Aja, you are Vibhum. And all the great rishis, etc., also don't know you in your true nature, in your full glory. Now, he says that, please tell me, when the Lord used the word yoga and vibhuti, so he tells Bhagavan that, please tell me all your vibhutis first. Vaktumarhasi asheshena divyahi atma vibhutaya. All your divine vibhutis, please tell me about them. What are those vibhutis? They are pervading in this creation. Imans tvam vyapya tishtasi. And how do I think of you? Because you are all pervasive. Now this is a very powerful question, he says. You are all pervasive. In what ways should I think about you? Because not every mind will be able to grasp what is infinite, all pervasive. Because our mind thinks only in terms of form, picture and sound. Advertisements also, if you see, what is the technique of advertisements? They use a powerful visual and one caption. And that will go deep into your mind and it will create the desire that, I must have it. Some of the popular ones, suppose, I don't see TV, so I don't know which are the recent ones, but when we were in college, there used to be Ye Dil Mange More. I think it was some Pepsi or something. So now that picture and that caption, that has gone inside. And the way in which they will word it is, it will drive you to buy more of it. Lace chips, I think it was something, no one can eat just one. Something like that, they had a caption. So it will induce us to buy more. So name and form. Now we need name and form. So he says, you are all pervasive, no doubt, but in which all ways should I think of you? you please tell me, keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. Vistarena atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana. So he says, with elaboration, you please tell me both these. What is your yoga and what is your vibhuti? So when he says this, your yoga and vibhuti, Bhagavan says, my glories are infinite. It can't be restricted. But I will tell you main ones. Pradhanyata Kuru Shrestha. A few main ones I will let you know. And then you can decide. There are many, infinite are the glories. And the first thing he says is most beautiful. And this shloka is chosen by Ramana Maharshi as the single most important shloka of the entire Gita. Is this verse number 20 of 10th chapter. You repeat after me. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhutashaya sthitah aham adischa madhyam cha bhutanamanta eva cha. He says, first vibhuti he enumerates is what? Aham Atma Gudakesha. He says, I am the Atma. Sarvabhuta Ashaya Sthitaha. In the hearts of all the beings I reside. And that Atma itself is that infinite consciousness which has become Ishvara, because he says, Aham Adischa Bhutanam. I am the beginning of all the beings. Madhyam cha. I am their middle sustenance and Anta. So means what? In this shloka, Bhagavan told us that our Atma is not some tiny little thing inside us. It is that infinite cause from where the whole Srishti has come. So that Atma is that Brahman. We are not some part of that Atma, okay? We are not some small little parts of that Jivatma, this Paramatma, and now we will all merge and become one with Paramatma. There is no emerging and merging happening. The wave is a part of the ocean, if you see from standpoint of the wave. But if you see water, then there is no part, there is no whole, there is no emerging, there is no merging. There is only water. Simple. Absolute truth is that only. Now we have forgotten that and identified with the body, so then we say that okay, this is Jivatma, that is Paramatma, Jiva has to surrender to Paramatma. When that surrender happens, what is that surrender? Dropping false identification. I am not this. Comes to realize, I am that one truth only, and there is nothing else except one truth. So this is first vibhuti. So we generally think vibhuti means outside. But what does Bhagavan do? Which is the first vibhuti of Bhagavan? Atma. Which means what? Each of us is a walking, talking vibhuti of Bhagavan. As many jivas as they are there, that many vibhutis are there. Just that we don't know that. So having said that, now in this, I am not going to go into each of these. This is anyway an overview, and you go into each of these examples. He gives his vibhutis from different standpoints. So one, he will tell about his vibhutis in nature. So he says that I am the ocean amongst the water bodies, I am the Ganga among the rivers, I am the Himalaya among the mountains, I am the sun, Adityanam Aham Vishnu, Jyotisham Raviram Shuman, all that he will say this. So certain vibhutis are of nature, certain vibhutis are from the subtler worlds. So he says amongst the commander-in-chiefs, he says, I am Skanda. Skanda Sena Ninamaham. Then he says, I am Rama Shastrabhutamaham. Amongst the people who have weapons, I am Ram. Like that he explains. Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi. Amongst the Rudras, I am Shankara. 11 Rudras. In that Shankara is one Rudra. Like that. Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam. I am Kubera amongst those who are wealthy. So I am Kubera. Then Meru Shikarinamaham, I am the Meru Parvat amongst all the mountains. Like that he gives Maharshinam Bhriguraham, of all the Sapta Rishis, I am Bhrigu. Then he gives also certain things which are subjective. So he says Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Of all the spiritual practices, I am Japa Yajna. Chanting the name of Bhagwan. He says that is a Vibhuti of Bhagwan. We take Japa for granted. Ram 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 Ram. आज का माला हो गया. And then people ask also, Swamiji, my Japa mind wanders, what to do? Mind will wander in Japa if Bhavana is not there. That way mind will wander in anything now when Bhavana is not there. Suppose I don't like, what is it called? Opera. Suppose I don't like that, I don't enjoy, and forcefully I am taken there. I sit there and I watch, okay, somebody dancing and then they are screaming at shrill voice. क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये लोग? People are, why can't they just normally sing? So if I don't have taste for it, I don't have love for it, then I won't enjoy it. Bhav is required. And if I have studied well, I have understood the purpose of Vedanta is what? If I study properly, I understand who is truth, what is the truth, who is Ishvara, what is my sambandh with Ishvara, all that, then spontaneously bhavana will arise that what a beautiful creation is this, all this is divine. Any aspect of this, we appreciate, like now this painting is there, such a nice painting that has been done. Now you will appreciate, wow, beautiful, the sky is nice, the lake is there and the ship is there, oh, such a lovely vision, and how the painter has painted it, and then you admire the painter. Looking at the Srishti, if our mind doesn't admire the creator, then I am not seeing the Srishti properly. Because what level of sophistication is here in each aspect of the Srishti. So when one sees all this, then bhavana will arise. So he says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, I am the spiritual knowledge amongst all knowledge. I am the japa amongst all practices. Then Vada Pravadatamaham, I am the ability to discuss and then come to the conclusions. Vada, where discussion happens. So Devi group is what? Mananam Pradhan. It is discussion oriented, reflection oriented. We should ensure that it does not become Shravanam Pradhan. That we come only to listen. So Gurudev always used to say that one of the duties of the Sevak or the Sevika is what? To ensure that each one participates. Speak, ask, discuss, participate. Otherwise, what will happen? In that sadhana, it is very easy just to listen. When we start reflecting, when we start talking, then a different churning process happens. Yes, listening, in that process of discussion also we are listening to others, there is no doubt, but we are not limiting to listening. So Vada, he says, Vada is a Vibhuti of Bhagwan. And the purpose is what? Through that discussion come to the truth. Otherwise, many times discussion also, some people discuss. Sometimes in a group discussion you find all types of people. Some person is Mr. Right. Whatever this person says is right. Whether that is logical, illogical, doesn't matter. Now he holds on to that, I am Mr. Right. Second person is Mr. Wrong. I don't know what is the truth, but whatever you say is wrong. Third person is Mr. Opponent. Whatever you say, I will oppose. No, not like this, not like this. Fourth person is Mr. Open. Who is open? Who is not interested in ego games? Who is interested in knowing what is the truth? So, Vadaha, Pravadatamaham. So like that he gives some examples, and then he also takes some difficult examples and he gives. He says, Mrityuhu Sarvaharashchaham. I am death who devours everything. In death also one can see the Vibhuti of Bhagwan. Why? Because beings are born from the Lord, stay in the Lord, go back to the Lord. Yes, there is sorrow at that point in time, we miss the physical presence of that person, etc. But what we should remember, when he says aham adischa bhutanam and anta evacha, I am the beginning, I am the middle, I am the end also. So, if we see that they have come from the Lord, they are divine and they have gone back to their own divine nature. That's why we say what? That may they discover peace, may they attain happiness, they attain the feet of Bhagavan. That's what we say. So, the idea here is that Mrityu sarvaharascha udbhavascha bhavishyatam. And then he says, amongst women, he manifests as these special qualities. Kirtihi, Shri, Smriti, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama. 6 qualities. Kirti, Shrirvakshanarinam, Smritir, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama. All these are, first of all, even Sanskrit grammar wise also, they are all feminine words. Second, he has used the word Narinam. And he says, these are my special vibhutis in the women. Another meaning is, those women who have these qualities are his special vibhutis. Both ways one can understand. Swamiji, what about men? Arey, here you are glorified. Either ways there is a problem. If women's qualities are not given, then they say women are ignored, they are not highlighted in the scripture. This is, what is that called? Gender discrimination. Scriptures are male biased. If you give enumerate, then they will say, what about men? Unke baare mein kya bola? This is just to say that these are such beautiful qualities. Bhagavan says these are all his vibhutis. Kirti, who is the most famous? If you think about it. How is Kirti vibhuti of Bhagavan? Kirti is the love of the mother, most selfless and the purest. That's the highest example given for love. Kirti. Shri. Woman is the embodiment of Mother Lakshmi. Her presence itself, she is only Shri. It's not that she brings wealth, so she is Shri. She is Shri. Kirti is Shri. Because the way in which, so they say, that you teach a man, you teach a individual. You teach a woman, you teach a whole generation, a whole family. In so many other ways, the qualities that she has, that itself is a wealth. The bhav, the emotions, the love, the compassion, the kindness, all that. Kirti, and of course she has the ability to generate and produce wealth also. It's not that in the earlier days women were confined only to the homes and men were only working. That yes did happen because invasions happened in our country, but if you see actually the Vedas and even otherwise, how many queens are there in our country? Show me any other country that has that many number of queens and that much power they have wielded. Tell me names of some queens of Bharat. First is Lakshmi Bai, then Ahilya Bai, Jhansi ki Rani Lakshmi Bai, Ahilya Bai, then
She was Muslim, Razia.
Razia Sultan. Any Hindu queens you remember? Tell me. Padmavati. Then any other? Geeta is a mother, not took up as a queen. She is a great mother. See this Noor Jahan, all this. She is not a queen. Hindu queens we don't know. Think about it. Because we have not been taught or those are not hyped up. But if you see Nayaki Devi, you know Nayaki Devi? There's a movie also on her, Gujarati movie. She defeated Ghazni. And Ghazni killed her husband. She had a small child. She defeated Ghazni and she forgives him and sends him back. Ashamed, Ghazni never came back to India after that. That is Ghazni, Nayaki Devi. Then there is Rani Abakka. Two Abakka Ranis are there. Two Chennammas are there. Rudrama Devi is there. And there are movies on each of them now. Beautiful. So many great queens. In Northeast, there is one queen, Gaindulu. Each of them, if you see, how much they have contributed for this country, is amazing. So, Kirti, Shri. So, in our culture, in our country, it is not that gender bias was there. People were ruling kingdoms also. Women were ruling kingdoms also, running the Veda Pathshalas and many things. So, power also they wielded. They generated enough wealth also. Kirti, Shrir Vakcha Narinam, Smriti, memory. Memory, so one can't beat women in that. You start
I think you're saying
any conflict, women can tell you 20 years before what happened. You may forget, but she will remember. That's a good quality of women, that they have memory. Man forgets very easily. You tell him to buy something and come, he will buy everything else and forget that and come. Memory. Kirti, Shri Vakcha Narinam, Smriti, Medha. Medha is intelligence. Smriti and Medha we should differentiate. Otherwise, generally we think Medha is memory. Smriti is memory. Medha is intuitive intelligence. And do you know, Medha is that which makes the women most eligible and qualified for realization faster than men also. Because truth is realized through intuitive capability. And that women have already developed. So Medha, Smriti, Medha. Intuitively they will know so many things. It's not only day-to-day intuition, it is spiritual intuition also. Both. So Smritir Medha, then Dhriti is fortitude. Overcome all obstacles and achieve the goal. And Kshama, forgiveness. Mother Earth is the highest symbol of forgiveness. We trample upon her every day, but that's why her name is Kshama. So all these are beautiful qualities. So some vibhutis are within, some vibhutis are outside in the world, in nature, in the subtle Adidaivik world, in the spiritual realm, in the practices. Like that he gives different vibhutis. And finally what does he say? All these vibhutis, Yadyad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimadurjita mevava tattadeva avagachatvam mama tejvamsa sambhavam. It is one small amsha of my infinite teja. This entire srishti is one small glimpse of that infinite truth. And what is Bhagavan telling us? We are one with that infinite truth. But what do we want to hold on to? No, I am this. Leaving infinity, one is stuck with one. So if I understand the vibhuti, what will I come to realize? That tattva is manifesting as all these glorious vibhutis. So Gurudev said, what is vibhuti yoga? To see the one in the many. So apparently there is a division, there is plurality, but actually there is only oneness. All of us are one. And the best example Gurudev is to give for that is our body. The whole body, each part is different from the other. No part is the same. Even in the hand, if there are 5 fingers, each finger is different from the other. It has uniqueness and unique capability. But what is my vision? I pervade this whole body. And so he used to give example. If your tongue is bitten by your own teeth, what will you do? With the hand, will you punch your teeth and say, how dare you bite the tongue? Now pay the price for it. No. If the finger pokes the eye, will we destroy the eye, or will we, same hand will go and rub the eye? So there is a vision of oneness. If this vision of oneness comes to us, so when we see the vibhuti, open eye meditation can happen because of the vibhuti. Those who feel, Closed eye meditation is very difficult. Either I go to sleep or the mind wanders. Then do open eye meditation. Or you can do both also, closed eye meditation also and open eye. So when I see the world, I see Vibhuti of Bhagwan. And when I close my eyes, I have darshan of yoga or tattva of Bhagwan. So our culture does not give us any excuse for not meditating. If you can meditate, withdrawing the senses, think of the tattva, meditate. If you can't meditate that way, see the world but admire the creator behind it. So I can see the ocean and what will my mind go to? Alaska cruise karna chahiye kabhi na kabhi. This neighbor of mine went to Alaska cruise and came, and she was saying so many nice things. But my husband is not taking me. Pata nahi kab hoga, kya hoga, kaise karenge. Now my mind has gone from Sagar to Alaska, neighbor, Rag, Dvesh, everywhere. But if I say that this is the ocean, this is the glory of Bhagwan and how gloriously the Lord manifests and Sagar Devta is here and how Bhagwan only becomes the water. You just imagine this much water, if some little water which is there in our house, if we have to have it in our tap, one motor has to run, it has to go up in the tank, from there pressure will be created when it is pumped down, then we get the water in our tap. One day if that watchman has gone to sleep and he has not put on the motor on time, what will happen? No water, people are panicking. And for that much electricity, that much effort, everything. And Bhagwan effortlessly evaporates this water. It becomes the clouds. He becomes the wind. It goes somewhere, rains on the mountains, becomes the rivers, flows, nurtures and nourishes so many people. I mean, if you just think about it, what all is just happening. Effortlessly it is happening. And we take that for granted. So if I see the world and my mind goes into it, what level of divinity is there here and how Bhagwan sustains all of us, then my mind will go into a meditative state thinking of the Lord, my raga and dvesha will reduce. So that's the practical application. In this chapter, about 70 plus examples Bhagwan has given, which are his vibhutis. You can create vibhutis for the modern context also. You can say amongst the phone, I am the iPhone. I'm not trying to market iPhone, but I'm just saying, you can say my phone is the Vibhuti of Bhagwan, whichever is your brand. It's up to you. You can create new Vibhutis. Like Gurudev, it is said that if sannyas had to take a personification, then Krishna would say that amongst the sannyasis, I am Swami Tapovanam. Like that, Guruji has written a beautiful Tapovan Stuti, in that he mentions that. So like that one can create vibhutis for ourselves also. The bhav is, my mind must go to the Lord. So this is called Vibhuti Darshan. And Vibhuti literally means Visheshena Bhuti, a special way of being. So we have Chinmaya Vibhuti also. That is a special glorious manifestation of the vision of Gurudev. So that's our retreat center. How many of you have not gone to Chinmaya Vibhuti? 2. Not gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. क्या बात है, आप भी नहीं गए? अरे एक कैंप तो बनता है, एक डे टू नाइट ट्रिप भी जाके आ सकते हो आप. Go in the early morning, visit there. My ideal suggestion is go and stay one night. There's so many nice things to see there. There's a Maruti Mandir, there is Pranav Ganesh Mandir, there is Swanubhuti Vatika. You will fall in love with that Swanubhuti Vatika. There is a full Chinmay Jivan Darshan. Very many nice things are there. There is a Dhyana Vatika. So, especially monsoon time is the best time to go. See if you can go. If you can plan with Vibhaji, one nice Devi group outing, jaake aao. Just now we did in August one camp, Sankat Mochan Hanuman Ashtakam camp, we did 2 days in Vibhuti. So like that monsoon retreats, you can go do some satsang there and come. So that is Chinmay Vibhuti. Now this is the Vibhuti Yoga. What is a Vishwarup Darshan? So to see the one in many is Vibhuti, but to see the many in one is the Vishwarup Darshan. So how does a Vishwarup Darshan begin? So Arjun, he wants to see the Aishwarya of Bhagwan, which is the glory of the Lord. So in Vibhuti Yoga, one will see the world externally, but there is a boundary of space and time. So in the 10th chapter, the word Vibhuti is used and then the word Yoga is used. Now in that we saw Vibhuti is the special manifestation outside. Yoga is the potential, the source. All things, like we saw water has the ability to satiate the thirst. Now all the liquids, juices and whatever you make, the base will be this water. So you can say all the juices are in water. If you see all of them in one place, that is Vishwarup Darshan. So that is the Aishwarya. So if you see in the 9th chapter, so seed of 10th chapter was in the 7th. Seed of 11th chapter you find in the 9th. In 9th Bhagavan said, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. See my yoga and my Aishwarya. So Gurudev used to explain yoga word there to refer to Vibhuti Yoga. And then he used to refer to that word Aishwarya as 11th chapter. So that's why Arjun also says, Drishtam ichhami te rupam Aishwaram. I want to see your glorious Vishwarupa, which is your Aishwarya, where everything comes together. Here he is seeing one. So if I am seeing the sagar, then I am not seeing the lion. If I am seeing the lion, I am not seeing the mountain. Even if I see some 5-7 vibhutis together, I am still seeing only limited. In Vishwarup, everything comes together. He says, Drashtum ichhami te rupam Aishwaram Purushottama. What is your Aishwarya? I want to see that cosmic form. See that desire of Arjuna. From the dilemma that he had, that should I fight the war, I want to run away, I don't want to face this, etc. He has come to this state where he wants to see the cosmic form of Bhagavan. This whole universe is the Virat Rupa of Bhagavan, no doubt, and Virat Rupa only is Vishwarup also. But as I said, it has a space and time boundary. If you remove that space and time boundary, one will realize the absolute truth. But in between these two, the Vibhuti Darshan and the Adhyatmic Darshan of oneness with the truth is the Vishwarup Darshan, which is a mystical vision. It cannot happen through the physical eye. And that's why Bhagavan actually, when Arjun said, Bhagavan is very compassionate. As soon as Arjun said, Bhagavan, I want to see your Vishwarupa, Bhagavan showed him the Vishwarupa. But then Bhagavan realized that this Arjun is not able to see, he can't comprehend. Like nowadays we have this immersive experience. So you put on this, what is that called? There is one equipment, right? VR, it is called VR, virtual reality wala. So this virtual reality headset, VR headset you put, and you are sitting on the chair only. Like if nowadays some of these places the temples also have, like Mahakaleshwar has, Omkareshwar. So I went to Omkareshwar. There one VR experience one can get. So one is sitting on the chair, but you will have darshan as though you are in the temple. You are seeing the linga, you can touch the linga, and there is alankar of the Lord is happening there. Morning arti, afternoon arti, evening ashayan arti, everything you can see. 10-minute experience, but immersive. So you will feel, you can move around the chair. If you move around, you will see everything around also. So if somebody sees you like that, and you are touching here, there, like this, like this, like this, they will say, "Kya pagal hai? Kya kar raha hai?" But you are having an experience because you are not now seeing through the limitation of only physical eye. Now there's a different experience. Same way Arjun was given a Divya Chakshu. A Divya Chakshu, when it is given to Arjun, then Arjun is suddenly able to see. Yes. Have you seen the videos of, some of these children, they, first time when they are able to hear, when they don't have hearing capability and when that machine is there and then first time they hear sound, you see the expression on their face, so cute. Some of them when they are able to see first time, very heart touching actually. You see their experience, how it is, because they have not experienced a certain dimension of this world and suddenly now sounds are all there, colors are there, manifest. Imagine Arjun's situation where he is seeing the whole Vishwarupa compressed in the form of Krishna. And so when he sees his Vishwarupa, he sees everything in this, thousands of hands and legs. So what does that mean? Does Vishwarupa mean that, okay, the paintings, many times if you see, there is one huge form where so many heads will be there, so many hands, so many legs. Is it like that Arjun saw? See, that's a depiction, because finally you have to depict in 2D, you will depict like that only. But what Arjun saw is every hand belongs to the Lord, every mouth belongs to the Lord. When he says Sahasra Baho, he says this, so many of these things that he sees. There's a very nice shloka that comes here. Aneka Vaktra Nayanam Anekadbhuta Darshanam Aneka Divya Bharanam Divya Neko Yatayudham. So he sees so many hands, so many legs, so many ornaments, so many faces. And all this he is seeing, past, present, future combined. So time boundary is removed, space boundary is removed. And he says that he sees the creator also, Brahmanam Isham Kamalasanastham. So he is seeing Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh also. He is seeing all different species, the snakes also, birds also, Aneka Bahudara Vaktra Netram. Then he is seeing Devatas also, Rishis, Munis, the whole Srishti in one form, compressed in one. And at the same time, he also sees the events, what has happened in the past, what is happening now, what will happen in the future. And he sees that actually Bhagavan is behind all this. We think we are doing, but actually the Lord is doing everything. So he sees that Anadi Madhyanta Mananta Viryam Ananta Bahu Shashi Surya Netram. He has infinite number of hands, sun and moon are his eyes. So he sees one Vishwarupa. He sees 7 worlds down, 7 worlds above, 14 worlds. Dyavya Prithivyorida Mantaram Hi. All this is pervaded by what? One truth. Like that he gives one whole elaborate description of the entire Srishti. So imagine all the Vibhutis along with the whole Srishti, everything in one place, past, present, future. Now that vision is a very bewildering vision. Arjun gets very scared, and he also sees death, destruction, mass destruction, destruction of the whole Srishti. Imagine destruction of the entire Srishti if you and I have to see. Terrific it will be. One natural calamity if we see, we get terrified. No? Some video also, not even we are inside that. One video of a natural calamity, if you see a tsunami coming somewhere and sweeping away the whole place, some earthquake has happened somewhere, so terrible. And Arjun sees the entire Srishti getting destroyed. And cycles of such creations are happening. And destructions are happening. And then Bhagavan also shows him specifically. Because Arjun had asked Bhagavan that, I don't know whether I should fight the war, whether they should win over us or we should win over them. He was very confused in the 2nd chapter. So Bhagavan shows him that you are going to win. And he shows the death of all these Kaurava forces. And the description here is between the teeth. Bhagavan is crushing them. Churnitai Ruttamangahi. He has become death as though he is devouring. And they are getting crushed And some of them are stuck between the teeth of Bhagavan also. Danshta karalani chate mukhani. Terrific. Arjun sees all that. At the same time, he also sees what? That the form is very effulgent. You know, there is one verse which comes here. Devi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapadurthita Yadibha Sadrishi Sasyad Bhasas Tasya Mahatmanaha. Like thousands of suns, if they rise at the same time, what will be the effulgence? One sun only we can't see. Thousands of suns they are rising at the same time, Yugapad. That was the effulgence of this glorious Vishwarupa. And Bhagavan, when he has become time, he is destroying everything. That verse of this 11th chapter is what Robert Oppenheimer remembers when the first nuclear blast happened. There's an interview of his also. And this movie which came out now, no, Oppenheimer. In that they mention this. Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddha. That I have become time and I am engaged in devouring the entire creation. So Arjun sees creation, sustenance, destruction, effulgence, brilliance, all that. And Arjun surrenders. His individuality is completely dissolved. See, even vibhutis, when we see, our individuality will dissolve. But when massive vision like this happens, then so there is no other. The ego, even if it wants to retain a little bit, it can't retain. It will just surrender. Because the vision of totality is so, what you can say, it will blast the ego. So Arjun actually surrenders and he is scared also. And Bhagavan shows him that I am the doer, Arjun. So this chapter has one of the most powerful learnings, and which is very unique only to this chapter, is Arjun is shown that he is winning and Bhagavan is the Karta. So Arjun was told by the Lord that even without you, they are not going to survive. In no other chapter this comes. He says, without you also they will not survive, Arjun. So you just be an instrument and do your duty. And in fact, I am the doer, but you become the enjoyer. Bhagavan is very kind. If I am the doer in the world, I want to be the enjoyer or not? But Bhagavan says, actually I am the doer, you enjoy. Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham, you win, you enjoy. Rule this kingdom, enjoy. Maya eva nihata purvameva. So you drop your guilt, regret that you will be the killer of Bhishma and Drona and your own teachers and grandfather and all of them. You just be an instrument. This tells us the subtlest truth, which is predetermination. Every single thing is predetermined. Our mind will not accept that. That's why Bhagavan tells this when? In the 11th chapter. Not in the beginning. Why? Because somebody will be not mature enough to understand and they will misunderstand everything. Saying, anyway, Bhagavan is the doer, what do I have to do? Nothing. Why do I need to even act? That is a misunderstanding. This philosophy is not to make us fatalistic or escapist, or to say that what is the use of Purushartha, Purushartha only is not there. It is to bring about the highest surrender. Because the fact is, Bhagavan is the Karta. You and I are only equipment, instruments. In a whole movie, if you see, when you sit and watch the movie, the director has made the movie. But what does it look like? The actor is making the choices. But actually the fact is what? The actors are only following the direction. The director is the one who is controlling everything. If the actor goes beyond the script and tries to do something on his own, the director will say what? Cut. It will not come there. But this is the big picture. We should not misuse this. When we understand everything is predetermined, what will be our attitude? I will do my duty without doership. Why should I do can be a misunderstanding in our mind, so we may try to shirk off responsibility saying Bhagwan is the Karta, I am not the Karta, so what is the point? That's a misunderstanding that will happen. And that's why Bhagwan says that Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Sachin. He uses the word Savya Sachin for Arjun in this chapter alone. Savya Sachin means who can shoot with his left hand also, meaning who is ambidextrous. So we can do action. Two hands we have. Bhagwan says you do your duty to the best of the ability, but drop your doership, because what is binding me is my doership. Action by itself will not bind. My doership will bind. And I feel the choice at this moment. Bhagwan gave me the choice. So how to act? The best attitude is in the present moment, make the best choice with the best intention and best knowledge that you have. Put in the right effort for it. Don't fall for the tendencies, lower tendencies of the mind. What is the best I can do now? I should do that. And having done that, know that it was all destined by the Lord only. Because there is no other way to know destiny. Even if you go to some astrologer or tarot card reader or anybody like that, they can only give some suggestion that this is a possibility. Finally, I have to act. So act as if everything depends on you. And after that, surrender, knowing everything depends on him. Bhagwan only has done it all, actually. So there need not be any guilt, nor there need be any pride. But our problem is, when wrong happens, we say, ye sab kara dhara tha, Bhagwan ne kiya, it is all destined, what to do. And when everything goes right, I did Swamiji. Either we live at Purusharth level, saying everything is my choice, so whatever results come, I accept, is my responsibility. I deserve this karma phala, I will go through. Or we say everything is done by Bhagwan. He is the Karta, he is the Dharta, he is the Dharta, he is everything. I am zero, I am only his instrument. That requires highest level of surrender. In both, what is common? In Purushartha also and in surrender also, what is common? Is acceptance.
Lack of doership.
Correct, lack of doership. In the first one, I say, I do my best, dedicate actions to Bhagwan. But doership is there. In the second one, I say, no doership also. Bhagwan only is the doer. How will I know what is the will of Bhagwan? Sit quietly, you will know what is the will of Bhagwan. If the ego is put aside, the will of the Lord is known easily. In fact, even through the ego, will of the Lord only is manifesting, just that we don't know that. Through Duryodhan also, Bhagwan's will only is manifesting. But Duryodhan will not know that. And Duryodhan won't be able to surrender because of that ego that he has. There is a great joy in surrender. One becomes relaxed. Think about it. If you are sitting here, you are relaxed right now. Why? Because there is no burden. Suppose I give you a speaker, उठा के बैठो अपने सर पे. What will you do? You will wait to keep it aside. ना कि अरे भाई रखो नीचे. But we are carrying this burden of doership life after life after life. When the fact is Bhagwan is the doer. So Bhagwan indicates the highest truth in this, which is again uniqueness of this. The whole purpose of Vishwarupa is to bring this fact to Arjun that you are not the doer at all. And so why are you carrying the guilt of it, the pride of it, the pressure of it? No need. Drop the doership, drop the enjoyership also. Does not mean I stop actions and stop facing the result. Both I will have to face. Action also I will do, results also I will face. So when Bhagwan has said this, Arjun understood. He prostrates to the Lord, surrenders to the Lord, and he also asks for Bhagwan's forgiveness. He says, Bhagwan, I am sorry. I didn't know who you are. You are the Lord of the whole universe. And I called you just like anything, hey Krishna, hey Yadava. I would have tapped you also sometime and hit you on the head also, and all kinds of liberty I would have taken with you. He says, I am sorry, please forgive me. How? Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyu. How a father forgives the child's innocent pranks. Child doesn't know the child is kicking the father. Father doesn't take offense. Like a child is forgiven by the father. Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyu. Like a friend will forgive another friend. And priya priyayar hasi. Like a lover forgives the beloved. In that way, you please forgive me. I have taken you for granted. You think about it. Have we also, as jivas, not taken Bhagwan for granted? If you think about it, literally each of us is a Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra means what? One who has grasped something which does not belong to him. Blind is one quality of Dhritarashtra. He did not have the vision. But Dhritam Rashtram Yena Sah. The kingdom does not belong to Dhritarashtra actually. It belongs to Pandu and then Yudhishthir. He was only a caretaker king. But he does not leave the kingdom. He is holding on to what does not belong to him. And the whole war is fought for what does not belong to him. 40 lakh people died in that war. In that, not only people, we should say males who died are 40 lakh males. Apart from all the horses and the elephants and all of those, all because of what? Attachment of this Dhritarashtra. Think. How are we Dhritarashtra? This entire Srishti belongs to Bhagwan. But we are grasping it, getting attached to it, and we are saying, this is mine. And then I will it to my children, I will give this much to this child, that much to that child, all that. Functionally one may have to do all that, but psychologically we carry that burden of doership, enjoyership, I, me, mine, where the whole thing Bhagwan belongs to Bhagwan. So now when Arjun says, you please forgive me, I have taken you for granted, Bhagwan concludes by saying that this form that you have seen, you can't attain this form by any amount of study of the Veda, or by tapa, or by yajna, or by dana. Why? Because this entire form can be shown by the Lord out of His grace and His will only. Vedic study will give us the essential knowledge of the truth, how to live in this world, what are my duties, what I should not do, all that. But this Vishwarupa Darshan can't happen by just a study. Nor it can happen by any amount of yajnas or any amount of dana. This will generate punya. Not that we should not do any of these sadhanas. We should do. But if I want to have darshan of Bhagwan, it will happen only through kripa of Bhagwan. These will help me to become eligible for that. It will purify my mind. And then like Arjun said, I want to see drashtum ichchami te rupam. Like that we will have a desire. And so Bhagwan ends this by his assurance. Jnatum, drashtum, tatvena, praveshtum cha parantapa. You can have all the three. One can know about the Lord, be intellectually convinced about who is Bhagwan, what is his nature, how he is one with us and all that. Then you can have drashtum, you can have darshan of Bhagwan, your Ishtadevata's rupa one can see. Because from this Vishwarupa, Arjun tells Bhagwan, now you please come back to the normal Rupa because this is unbelievable, I can't handle this more, please come back to regular Rupa. So Bhagwan comes back to Saumya Rupa. One can actually have darshan of that Saumya Rupa Bhagwan, that is Ishtadevata darshan. And Tatvena Praveshtum also Bhagwan says, that you can realize essential oneness also. So those who think that I am a Vedantin, I believe only in nameless, formless, darshan and all is illusory, darshan kuch hota nahi hai, ye sab symbolism hai. That is not true. So many saints have had darshan. And you and I can also have darshan, and Bhagwan has assured here, Jnatum, Drashtum cha Tatvena, Praveshtum cha Parantapa. All the three we can have. If we don't want to have, then that's a different point. But all the three one can. Ramakrishna had darshan of Mother Kali. So many of them. Janabai, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Vitthal, Tukaramji, they all have darshan of Vitthal Bhagwan. And even in flesh and blood, Bhagwan manifests in front of them, does work with them. Lot of people, saints. Vivekananda ji was given darshan of Mother Kali by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He sent her to Mother Kali 3 times. Mother Kali gave darshan to him also. So these are all examples of so many saints and Mahatmas who have had darshan, and there is a glory in that. You and I admire some role model, some sports star, film star, and we feel, अरे तो मुझे मिलना है, उनके साथ selfie लेना है. And suppose you meet them and you take a selfie and you put on the social media, you get so many likes, you feel, ah. They are mortal beings. That Bhagwan's the darshan, the devotee has a feeling, मुझे भगवान का दर्शन चाहिए, and Bhagwan actually comes for them. He does not come only to destroy the wicked people, he actually comes to give darshan to the devotees. So this is the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga, where he concludes by saying you can have all the three. You can see, you can know him, you can see him, you can be one with him. And in that seeing, you can see Vishwarupa also, you can see Ishtarupa also. Swamiji, how will we see Vishwarupa? You pray to Bhagwan and Bhagwan will bless you with the divine vision and he will only show Vishwarupa also. We don't have to worry. The best part in this whole thing is we have to only surrender. I'll end with this. Elevator example you have heard. You must have seen elevator, no? Automatic elevator in so many malls and everywhere you have now. What do? You just stand. Take the first step and stand. Then it will take you up automatically. This is like that. One surrenders to Bhagwan, Bhagwan only will uplift and give whatever is required. So today we stop here. Anything you want to ask, share, welcome.
You said the transcendental and immanent. Immanent is all pervasive and transcendental means in everything.
No, transcendental means Satchidananda Swarup Atma, which is beyond all manifestations, which transcends everything. That is transcendental. Satchidananda Atma, where there is non-duality, that is the transcendental truth, which is nameless, formless, attributeless. Then the immanent is what is all pervasive. Okay, one announcement I want to make. All of you know we have this Hanuman Chalisa Yajna from 24th to 26th September. How many of you chant Hanuman Chalisa regularly? Very good. So, in that second doha, he says, Baranau Raghubara Vimala Jasu Jodayaku Phalachari. He is describing glory of Hanumanji. But why does he say Raghuvara Vimala Jasu, Baranau? I am going to describe the glory of Raghuvara. Raghuvara means what? Bhagwan Ram. Then why Tulsidas is saying, I am going to describe glory of Bhagwan Ram, and then he describes Hanumanji's glories? कोई गलत शब्द यूज कर लिया क्या उन्होंने वहां पे? नहीं पता. Hanuman is devotee of Ram, but then he could say Hanuman Ram Bhakta, na? Why did he say Raghuvar?
Because he stays in his, he had imbibed all this knowledge.
Staying in his heart doesn't mean that he is the.
They are one and the same.
Oh, then so he can use anybody's name. Dashrath ka glory I am showing.
Yeah,
I won't tell you the answer. You come to the yajna. You want to know this रहस्य, no? हनुमान चालीसा का रहस्य है. रहस्य जानने के लिए आइए. ऑनलाइन नहीं है, ऑफलाइन है. भारतीय विद्या भवन में 24 से 26. वो जरा पैम्फलेट दो सबको. हाँ, प्लीज. I am giving you the pamphlet so that you come, plus you put it in your buildings, apartments, wherever. Let more people come. So many people chant Hanuman Chalisa, but उनको आधी चीज पता ही नहीं होती हनुमान चालीसा में क्या लिखा है. तिहु लोक का उजागर. Hanuman ji enlivens 3 worlds. How does he enliven 3 worlds, Baba? Like that, so many beautiful things are there which have a lot of implication in our daily life and sadhana also. So please come, and I am doing this time in Hindi because so many people keep telling, अरे हिंदी होता तो हम आ जाते. अब ये हिंदी में हो रहा है. लाओ सबको, पूरा परिवार को लेके आओ. Each Devi group lady member can bring 5 people who are new, Don't say हम ये 5 लोग हम आ गए. 5 new people you bring, that is your Guru Dakshina to Gurudev. And so many years you have been studying, introduce 5 people to Hanuman Chalisa. This is not some very subtle advanced Vedantic text. It is Hanuman Chalisa. So much benefit it has in lives of people. So one aspect is that. Second aspect is, if you can serve in some way for the yajna. A yajna means a cooperative endeavor for a selfless cause. All of you have studied in 3rd chapter. When we are organizing this yajna, a lot of effort is required. And in small ways, if you are able to serve, then it will be very helpful. The yajna team needs support. Please come together to organize, to publicize. Word of mouth is most important. Spread this to as many people as you can and let people come to Bharati Vidya Bhavan. 700 is our capacity. If 200 Devi group members are there, each of them bring 5 people also, we will be able to have a lot of people who will get introduced, or if they are knowing Hanuman Chalisa, they will know the depth. And especially a lot of young people, if you can bring, inspire your family, may say young people to come, it will help them a lot. So 3 days only, 3 evening programs. And in that we have 3 parts of the program also. Every day we will do the chanting. 6:45 we start Hanuman Chalisa, Samohik Path. Everybody will sit together and chant. That itself has enough vibrations to inspire us. Then we have the talk. And then every evening 10 minutes at the end we will conclude with some practice, a spiritual practice. So people have something to learn which they can continue at their home also. So spread this word and let maximum people attend. Thank you.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्ध बाड़ी की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
There's a camphor in. Light that camphor. एक मिनट. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति गा लो.
ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
बोलो गणपति बाप्पा. मंगल मूर्ति. बोलो सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तनम गोविंदा गोविंदा. श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की गीता मैया की आनंद की जय. One family bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined,
ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities, give us the ability and courage to fulfill them.
Om Tat Sat.
ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ